Man, Parrado. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. As I was saying, a new topic, complex numbers, right? Absolutely easy, absolutely beautiful. And I assure you, you haven't seen it before. Now, let's continue. Let's start with a little bit of a definition. The imaginary unit is something that we in mathematics call I, the letter I, right? This little letter here, the I. And the number elevated to the second power is equal to -1. That is going to be the basics of our complex numbers. Now, this is the basics, and it is extremely important simply because what we can do with this little letter in here, this little I. So please go ahead and write it down. I, the letter I, is a number such that whenever you elevate it to the second power, it is going to be equal to -1. All right? Now let's continue. All right. All of these complex numbers, all of these, they come from the solution whenever we are trying to solve quadratic equations. Whenever we have a negative discriminant. Now, please, in the chat, if you have a discriminant that is negative, how many solutions do you have for a quadratic equation? Go ahead and write it in the chat now, please. All right. Beautiful. We have 10 people answering now. Beautiful stuff. All right. Yes, you guys are correct. 16 people now. Beautiful. You are correct. If the discriminant is negative, that means we have 0 solutions. We don't have a solution. We don't. There is no solution. But with the introduction of complex numbers, now we can talk about a solution. Here's an example. Let's look at this quadratic equation. Simple quadratic equation, right? Absolutely simple. Now, we have equal to 0, so we can apply the quadratic formula, right? We use the quadratic formula, and this is what we have. We simply replace the values of b, a, c, and a. Remember that? Quadratic formula, right? Absolutely simple. But if you continue with this, the discriminant will be negative. You have 1 squared, so that is 1, minus 4. 4 times 1 times 1, that is 4. So you have 1 minus 4. The discriminant is -3. So we have square root of -3, the square root of a negative number. We don't have a root of a negative number. That is what it says here. But the discriminant is negative, and we cannot find the square root of a negative number in the real numbers. We cannot. We have a square root of -3. So that is why we say this thing has no solution. That's it. Oh, but with the introduction of complex numbers, we can do things. We can do things now. Let me go back a little bit and change into this format. Here it is. All right. I want to show you something that I am sure. Hey guys. I want to show you something that I am sure some of you already thought about. I want to show you something so simple but so powerful that you will not forget. Look at this. Look at this. We know already. We know that whenever we have I, the imaginary unit, please focus camera, focus, thank you. Whenever we have I, the imaginary unit, we know that I to the second power is going to be the same as -1, right? But that brings a question. All right, we know how much is I squared, -1. But how much is I alone? Can we just move the little square as a root? Can we isolate I? Yes, we can. So if we do just that, we have that I, wait, that I is awful. There we go. We
Profe,
have
una
that I,
pregunta.
yes.
¿Estás mostrando tu tablero? O sea, ¿intentas mostrar el tablero?
No,
Ah, ok. Que pensé que estabas explicando algo. Porque no
There,
se ve
of
nada.
course.
Ah, ok.
Thank you. Um, as I was saying, right? We know that I squared is the same as -1, right? But that little 2, we can move it to the other side. We can isolate the variable I. It's not going to be a variable. We just want to find the real value of I. And it is absolutely simple. Of course, it's going to be the square root of -1. So what we have here is the first possible solution for a negative root. Look at this. We have the root of a negative number and a specific negative number, -1. Whenever we have the root of a -1, that is the value of I. And that is strong because this thing in here help us. It help us find the possible solutions uh, of our exercise. Let me go back to this. There we go. All right. So again, we had this quadratic formula, right? This quadratic function. Now, look at this. What can we do? All right. Mathematicians realize this thing, the little I. They realize that, right? So we are going to invent new numbers. That
Teacher,
is what they did.
you can go to the last slide a minute, please.
Sure. Fun.
Thank you, teacher.
Absolutely. Danny, is that you, Danny?
Yes, it's me.
Okay,
You know
Danny, go
that
ahead and take a picture, please. Go ahead and take a
yes,
picture so that we can continue.
you read my mind. I already take it.
All right, beautiful, buddy. Thank you.
You can
All right,
continue.
so simple. This is what we can do. Mathematicians did it a while ago, right? What they did is that they invented new numbers, right? They invented new possible solutions. So whenever we have an square root that is
Daniel,
negative,
desactiva el micrófono que no dejas escuchar al profesor.
thank you. Whenever we have these possible solutions, whenever we have a negative number, we can apply what we did with the I. Look at this. Oh, what is that? What is going on now? This is one of the properties of roots. You guys know this, right? The -3 got separated. -3 is the same as -1 times 3. So I can separate the roots. I can do the square root of -1 and also the square root of 3. I can separate the roots. But if I go back to this presentation now, we have our our root of -1. And that is a number that we know, a number that we are introducing, a new number. Eh? Again, let's go back. That thing is the letter I. So now we have our two solutions. Before this, before the introduction of complex numbers, we didn't have a solution whenever the root was negative, whenever the discriminant was negative. We didn't have solutions, but now we do. Now we do. And the solution is called a complex number, a number that is beyond all the other numbers that you have studied so far. Let's watch a video. All right, this is the part where I wanted you to go ahead and watch a video. I'm going to stop the video, the recording of the meeting now, because this video is not going to be recorded properly. All right, so I'm gonna stop the recording now, and what I want you to do, please guys, is to go ahead and click on that link that is going to prompt you to a video. All right, that is going to prompt you to a video, and I'm going to do that as well. So if you want to continue with the class here, you can, but you're not going to listen a lot. You're not going to listen a lot. It's not good. I don't know why, but whenever I present the video, I don't know what happened. People can understand the video, right? So yeah, go ahead and click on that, and we will continue in the class in a minute.
Teacher, in what